Today, we're going to be looking at the ice worm. Before we begin, 90% of the stuff I'm going to be talking about here I learned from Cat the Doggo, so he really deserves most of the credit here. Although this video is dedicated to what we need to do hitless, this will be helpful for anyone trying to do anything against the ice worm in general. For this, the only weapons we actually need are the stun needle, and I prefer to use the bunker. The only reason I bring the bunker is that it deals a lot of damage, but we can do anything here that will deal enough to take down the ice worm. For OS tuning, we only really need pulse protection to make it a bit easier. The ice worm has 3 phases, and the first 2 phases are very consistent, so let's go through them. Then we will dive into the ice worm's attacks. To start out, it is important to know that the ice worm always wants to spawn in your field of view. Chaotic movement is only going to work against you. For phase 1, we want to assault boost to this rock and look down at this other one. We will see the ice worm spawn pretty close to our right. We're going to move back and hit the ice worm the second time it pops out. It gives us an excellent opportunity to strike. From here, we back up to make sure we don't get hit by the tail. Once it leaves, we go back to our position. The ice worm will then pop up again in almost the same place, but we need to move back so it doesn't land on top of us. Dealing our damage here will send us to phase 2. For phase 2, we want the ice worm to spawn in a certain spot, but it's going to want to spawn at a certain distance as well. I like to fight in the area we spawn, so I'm going to assault boost to the other side of the map. Once the ice worm spawns, I'm going to return back to the original side that we spawned on. The phase 2 attack of the ice worm is always the drones. You can punish the ice worm here, but there is a chance that it will summon the drones in phase 3. In phase 2, we still have allies that can absorb and kill the drones, so it is best to let them deal with it right now. When the drones are basically dead, the ice worm is going to do what I call the Cobra. Face these buildings so we can get a clear area to evade. As the ice worm ducks its head, we're going to fire our stun needle and immediately assault boost around the missiles. Once you clear the first set of missiles, curve around towards the ice worm to avoid the remaining missiles. Again, the ice worm is going to spawn in the direction you are facing. Hit the ice worm with the bunker to send it to phase 3. When phase 3 starts, we want to take advantage of the transition. We boost back a little bit to deploy our pulse protection. When the ice worm does its lightning attack, we fire our stun needle at its head. This means we only need one more to take down the shields. Now we can finally talk about the ice worm's attacks, and when they will appear. When we enter phase 3, the ice worm will choose from a pool of attacks. The first category is a long-range attacks. These are the names that Cat and I refer to them as. First is the long missiles. They are shot from extremely far away. Next, we have the barrage. They are a constant stream of missiles that the ice worm does while doing 2 humps. Next, we have the fast 2 pod. These are 2 sets of missiles that come in fast and can be easy to miss if you aren't paying attention. Next, we have what I call the 2 humps. There are no missiles, and this is the least dangerous attack. There is one other attack, but it really isn't applicable here. It is the attack that the ice worm does at the start of the mission. It only ever does this attack after about 8 minutes into the fight. Hopefully you still aren't here for that long. All of these, with the exception of one, is easily dodged by assault boosting. The fast 2 pod is the only exception where I recommend quick boosting instead. From this category, the ice worm will do 1 or 2 of these attacks at random at the beginning of phase 3. Next, we have a guaranteed attack. Well, sort of. The ice worm is going to do an attack we refer to as the U-turn. That is 100% going to happen. But there's a chance it does a different attack first. There is a chance it does an attack we refer to as the coil. The coil is fairly easy to spot early, and the easiest way to avoid it is just by assault boosting away. If you are brave and you see it coming early enough, you can get above the ice worm and hit it with a stun needle. It should be noted that you don't want to be directly above it. The ice worm doesn't point straight up, so you actually want to be slightly in front of it and above. Next is the actual guaranteed attack, the U-turn. It has a very clear sign as well. The ice worm will pop out just a bit in a curve. The U-turn is a very punishable attack, but it has a couple of variations. It is going to pop out to the left or to the right, but will always turn towards you. The other variation is that it can fire missiles early in the attack, or late. If you get the early missiles, you should try to quick boost out of the way and follow up with the stun needle. If you get the late missiles, you can safely fire the stun needle first and then slowly hover over the ice worm forward to avoid all the missiles. Up next, we have the bulk of the ice worm's attacks. It will do anywhere between 2 and 5 of these attacks. It can do the Cobra, which we punish and wrap around the way we did in phase 2. Note that you want to have good altitude to avoid the ice worm's lightning attack. It can do a lightning rod, which is similar to the coil with a few exceptions. The ice worm takes longer to break out of the ground after you receive the notification, and this one actually does go straight up, so you can avoid it by going straight above it or assault boosting away. It can do the coil, which we discussed earlier. It can do a swipe, which always comes out on your left and moves towards your right. You can preemptively assault boost to where it's going to end up and punish. And last and definitely least, it can do one of 3 filler attacks, where it pops up and then just burrows into the ground again. It can curve to the left, to the right, or just straight up and down. These attacks are not dangerous, but they're great at making you think you can hit it with a stun needle. As mentioned earlier, it can do anywhere between 2 and 5 of these attacks. The one caveat is that it won't actually do 5 full attacks. For it to reach 5 attacks, it will do 2 to 3 fillers. When it has finished up the bulk of its attacks, it will move into its slam attacks. There are 3 attacks in this category. It can either do a double slam, or it will do a slam rush. But wait, isn't that 2 attacks? Well, yeah, see, here's the thing. If it tries to do a double slam and you're too far away, it'll only do a single and burrow into the ground again, so it comes across as a different attack. It can do 2 of these attacks, but it is far more common for it to only do 1. After the slam attacks, the ice worm will resume its bulk attacks, doing anywhere between 3 and 5. Upon completion of the bulk attacks, it will go back to doing a slam attack. Once it has finished the slam attacks, it starts over at the very beginning. Hopefully this guide has been helpful to you. As mentioned at the start, this is part of our Hitless guide, but it is applicable for any challenge on the ice worm. Thanks for watching.